Hello and welcome back, Boneheads. This is Rich and I'm joined once again by Ben.
Hey everybody, on today's episode number 17, we're talking about the Bonehead Bowl and some example teams. We're talking Bonehead basics, blocking, and the usual games, hobby, and star players. Okay, so over to news. Rich, what have we got this week?
We've got a couple of things on Kickstarter this week. The first one I'll mention is the one that we actually mentioned in the last episode, the Games of North by Fanarth. So this is the Game of Thrones inspired minis. Now, when we spoke about it, we thought they looked undead, but they might be able to run it as Norse. It is in fact two different teams available. One living, one dead, as they call it.
That explains all the mixed spoilers and things like that.
Exactly. So there is a dead team which is essentially necromantic, and there is a living team which is Norse. They're brilliant. They're really good. I don't follow Game of Thrones. I tried it for a season and a half and just couldn't get into it. So I don't necessarily recognise the characters, but the miniatures themselves as miniatures are very well done.
Oh wow, I do recognise some of these characters. That is awesome.
What I liked in particular was the Norse team. They didn't try to make any Elfwerners. They just used them. They just used the direwolves. That's the one as Elfwerners, which are great little werewolf opportunities to use in other teams you've wanted to as well.
You know what? The faces are brilliant on these sculpts.
They really are, aren't they?
I mean, we get a lot of Kickstarters, and a lot of the digital stuff is really, really well done. But the faces are brilliant on this one.
So detailed. So detailed. What I like as well, as I've mentioned in previous, is there's a size comparison to Games Workshop minis.
Is it a human lineman?
And an orc lineman.
Oh, brilliant.
So it gives you a better idea of where they're at and what they're doing.
Interesting. So the White Walker is about a head taller than the human lineman, but a bit thinner. And otherwise they size up pretty well.
Yeah, I think they fit quite nicely.
Why does everyone always use the human lineman that's bent over a little bit?
I don't know. I'd always think you'd want to get the Wolverine pose, man.
I think that is the Wolverine pose, man, but he just looks
bent over, is he?
So he looks a bit shorter, but I think it's probably fine.
They are £52 a team, or if you buy both of them, it's £95, and shipping is only £7.
Oh wow! You can add on their other teams.
Yeah.
Oh wow! The other teams are brilliant as well.
The other teams are great. They've got a huge selection. I like their Slan team.
The Frogs team?
Yes.
That's the one that got my attention.
Yeah. I think we might have looked at that one before.
That's not the one with Morgan Frog, is it? Even though that frog is very cool.
Similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but they've got a human team in there, a Chaos team. They've got 8 teams, I think. So this Games of North is actually by a company called Fanarth. I don't think I said that at the beginning. Said Games of North.
Yeah.
I think they're great. They've got 3 stretch goals available, but I don't think they're going to get there. They only just hit funding on this. They've got 11 days to go as of this recording, so they've got opportunities.
No, they've reached it now. They're 4,957.
Okay, so they've just got there.
Against a target of 4,285. So at what point did the stretch goals start?
From 5,000.
So they are thereabouts there. 70,000. They're basically a team away.
So they're almost there, and I almost want to get it for the Norse team because I love their idea on a Yeti is a giant.
Yes, and that giant is really well done. And again, the face is brilliant on that.
So I really quite like these. I hope they do a little bit better. I think they could do quite well with.
Well, they've beat the goal. 7,000 is dice though, so I think it's not going to drive people to do unlock. I mean, a couple of dice unlock at €5,000. Then you've got you've got Arya Stark as the 7,000. There's some really great unlocks there that I don't think, like you said, I don't think they're going to make it, but. Oh, the giant zombie for 24,000 is brilliant. However, that is a massive way away.
Yeah, I think that's far too far in the distance for them, unfortunately.
So how big? How much are the teams?
£52 a team for metal or resin. So you get a choice of metal or resin. They're not charged any different.
Oh, metal all the way. I know it stresses you out.
Yeah, no, resin for me. That's bad experience from Games Workshop. Bad Games Workshop.
The Skaven guy.
You were there. You were witness to that. That wound me up. And shipping's only £7.
£51. Living team resin.
So £60 including delivery.
Living team metal. 7 linemen, 2 throwers, 2 wolves, 2 runners, 2 berserkers, and 1 giant. So £60 for postage, whatever.
Yeah.
That's 3. So that's 2 Games Workshop teams and a big guy from Forge World. And you get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. So 16 players. 16 really good players. And this goes back to what we were saying last episode, which is there are some of these Kickstarters that you just want to go in on to have something really special and really unique. And this has been brilliantly done.
Yeah, and I want to, on the North team, despite not getting the Game of Thrones references, purely because of the sculpts on the actual players. They're just good players to look at. They're obvious. The runners are obvious. Obviously the off-words are very obvious. They're the wolves. But you're not going to mistake the linemen for the runners or the runners for the berserkers. It's just so nicely done.
So there's 11 days left to go. I'm not sure if that will be Sunday May 19th. I'm hoping to get this episode out on May the 18th. So if you are listening to this, you've got a day.
Yeah.
But one cool thing is there is a 2-pack for £94.
£94.
With two teams, a dead team and a full blown
so you're
team.
actually getting a discount. They're offering a discount to do that.
So with postage, that's £50 each for two people.
Yeah.
Which, it's not a massive saving, but it is, it's £10.
No, but it becomes more reasonable than the £70 or £80 ones.
So the zombies are cool, the wights and ghouls are cool. What were the the golem. Yeah.
Oh, the one where he's got the thumbs in the eyes of that guy.
The golems are cool. I think they are the least cool because they are so invested in character. And also, that golem A, who's on his knees popping somebody's eyeballs out.
Yep.
That base looks like a jolly big round base. That looks like a 50mm.
It did look big.
Which I don't think will be brilliant for Blood Bowl. However, that is a small price to pay for some absolutely excellent teams. That is Games of North Football Fantasy from Fanarth on Kickstarter.
Yeah, there is a second one. Now, this is a company which we know quite a lot about anyway. It's from Punga Miniatures. That's better. It's the Pirates team.
Oh, I've seen lots about this team.
We have. So they've been building it up quite nicely. A friend of the podcast, Rob, made sure that we were aware of it.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob. And I know he's got quite a close relationship with them, and they look after him when he does his Carnage Cup. But they initially did a Skaven team, and that's they're basically pirates.
Oh my goodness, this team is excellently done.
They also have an alternative pirate Skaven team called the Cursed Crew, which is basically like I see it as Davy Jones style Skaven.
That's very cool.
So mutations, tentacles.
Just got to jump in there straight away. So this is the Pirates, P-I-RATS, Ratmen fantasy football team on Kickstarter by Punga Miniatures, and it's got 19 days to go, and they are at 29,800 against a target of 4,200.
Oh, they've smashed it.
They have literally smashed that into pieces, and if you look at the team, you can see why. The sculpting is brilliant, and the Kickstarter's really well laid out.
But they've also got an underworld option. Now, what I love is the fact that they've done an underworld option, so you've got goblins and Skaven, but they haven't taken the pirate theme. They've done a completely different theme again for the underworld.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's miners.
Oh, those runners are fantastic.
Yeah. They're brilliant. The goblins with the lanterns on their heads.
So
it's fantastic.
I don't need a third Skaven team.
But do you need an underworld?
I've got an underworld team.
I don't have a Skaven team. I don't plan on running one.
Oh, the Cursed Ogre is so cool.
Oh, yeah. With the diving bell helmet.
Yeah. That is brilliant.
It's amazing. So they've got 3 stretch goals. They've already unlocked bulls, reroll tokens, marker tokens, a parrot pirate, and an apothecary model. They are on the cusp of unlocking a possum fan. So I think he's literally just holding a big foam finger by the looks of the silhouette. But if they pass the next couple of stretch goals, they're going to be offering out a Goblin Undertaker and a Rat Wizard.
Wow, there's a load of stretch goals there. The Underworld team, there is a troll. The troll is very retro. It looks really good.
It's got a candle on his head.
Yeah, it's well done.
Do you know what it reminds me of? World of Warcraft Kobold.
Ah, you see.
For those of you who do WoW, he's got a candle on his head which is dripping all over his head, and it just reminds me of the kobolds.
Yeah, this whole Kickstarter has been absolutely brilliantly done, and I think that's why they've smashed it so well. And plus, they did a really good bit of PR. There was a lot of posts coming up about it a month or two ago as well. Same as the Games of North.
Yeah, leaking it through, making people aware it's still coming, getting people's opinions and stuff.
Oh, that whale troll is creepy, isn't it?
Oh, so this is from his other ones, the Savage Orcs.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're offering the Savage Orcs and the Magma tribe available as an add-on as well, for a little bit more money. At the moment, the teams that we've just spoken about are £60 for a team, roughly, and a tenner for shipping.
Yeah.
So that's 70 quid all in, which again, compared to others, is fairly cheap.
Well, I think that's about the same mark as everything else. So the stretch goal for 10,000 with some balls. Anchors. I like that when they don't go absolutely crazy. But there's an apothecary that's coming up. That's been reached. That's been spoiled. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this.
Yeah, really, really well done. So I think they're offering a discount if you buy 2 or all of them. If you
I
want
like
to go
that.
for all
I
3.
like that. I mean, I think we did that with the Undead Halflings, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So rewards. Can you buy individual models? Yes, you can. UK is €10. Those runners might be a really good way. I mean, look at that. So €10 postage, and I don't know how much the individual runners are, but I guarantee you, getting a couple of those would be cheaper than buying another team if you want a couple of extra. Gutter runners.
Yeah, definitely. Mix it up a bit as well. So yeah, no, I mean, there's 2 fantastic Kickstarters that have come out. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. The only other thing I would mention is nothing is out yet, but Exit 23, the company that did the Zenobian Zeniths.
Oh yeah.
The Amazon team are in the process of designing and are planning on releasing a Chaos Dwarf team.
Oh, I've been waiting for a really good Chaos Dwarf team.
So they've been teasing little bits and pieces. I've made them aware to let us know, so if you're listening, let us know when you're releasing what's going on with it. But they have got bits and pieces, and they're looking to release that in the next couple of months.
Gutter runners with tricorn hats. It's
Yeah.
so cool. Absolutely brilliant.
Just buy yourself that 3rd team then.
I might have to get the gutter runners with fancy hats. That's just amazing. That is just amazing. Is that it for models?
That's it for models.
So we saw Deeproot spoiled this week.
We did.
I did post about that on Twitter. I didn't post about it on Facebook because it was already everywhere on Facebook. What's your opinion of the model?
I like it. I know it's had very mixed reviews, but I think it's nice. It sticks with the halfling aesthetic. I think you can only use Deeproot for halflings now.
Yeah, you can.
So a lot of people disliked it because of the fact they couldn't use it as a normal, or wouldn't fit as well as a normal treatment.
Yeah, I think Games Workshop have missed a trick there. I think by them going straight in with Deeproot instead of showing the regular trees. I don't know, maybe they're just kind of doing the old switcheroo. But this spoil and launch isn't going as smoothly as some of the other ones.
No, definitely not.
It's a shame because everything we've seen so far looks really well done. The halfling models are great. I mean, we talked through the new Spike magazine.
We did.
That was a couple of episodes ago now.
Yeah.
We still haven't got a release date for it.
No, I think it's imminent. It's got to be imminent.
I know there's a lot of events going on over the next month.
Warhammer Fest, they've already said that there's going to be a Blood Bowl release.
That is this weekend.
That is this weekend. So by the time that this comes out, you already know the information. Anyway, I think we're probably going to get your trees in your official release date, and I wouldn't be surprised if they say pre-orders next week.
So spoil the trees this weekend, and then let's say on Sunday that pre-release for the following
I
weekend.
reckon so.
That'd be great. I'll be back in the country by that point.
Yeah, and then they can start teasing the lizardmen that I've promised people that they're going to release next. So yeah, so that was quite cool to see them actually do something. The only other stuff really, I suppose, is tournament-wise, isn't it?
Well, just before we move on, Deeproot and everyone on Twitter, bar maybe 2 or 3, were not a fan, which is a bit of a shame. But again, we're just waiting on the proper trees.
Yeah, and I think that it's got a very limited.
It's got but the style they've really committed to making it look like a halfling tree man.
Yeah.
Which I think they have to be careful with when they do the full release of the trees, because obviously you can take them on wood elves. People don't take them on wood elves very often at all, but it does need to be quite generic. Now, I bought my Ent from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
I built it. I put a picture of it on Twitter. It is huge, but it does the trick really well. And I think when it's lined up with some stunties, it will look amazing.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of skinny trees, but I'm also aware that you can't be treeist and that trees come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, this isn't really a skinny tree, it's just a tall tree.
Just a tall tree.
It's still hench. Yeah, it's definitely strength 6, maybe even strength 7. So, talking of tournaments, we have got R1. We've got the Bonehead Bowl coming up on the 29th of June. It is Saturday the 29th of June at Entoyment in Poole. 3 rounds, and it is an optional mixed team build. So we're going to be talking about some example teams for Bonehead Bowl in topic 1. I've got a few ideas, and some of the guys from the local club have talked about what their builds are going to be. It should be a really good day. Trophies are on order now.
They are.
Which is
Dice
so
are
cool.
on order.
Dice and some trinkets as well, some giveaways. Should be some really great prize support there. as well as some excellent games. We have got the Super Bowl 7s coming up in August the 10th, again at Entoyment in Poole. That'll be a 5-game Blood Bowl 7s tournament. And again, we will make sure there is just as good prize support.
Yeah, we're going to make it equal, if not better.
And in a few episodes' time, we are going to be talking about the Super Bowl 7s and what the rules pack is and how it's going to work.
Yeah, excellent.
But right now, we're all focusing on Bonehead Bowl.
We are. Really looking forward to it. I'm starting to get the buzz for it now. It's not that far away. What, 6 weeks as of now? Roughly? 7 weeks maybe?
I've downloaded an app for this for this very reason. I mean, not for this very reason, obviously for my holiday. So I'm going to Tenerife in 1 day, apparently. And Bonehead Bowl is 51 days from recording.
We should start doing a countdown.
And as it gets closer to the time, probably about a month out, we'll start posting some teams that are available for loan at the event as well. So if you don't have a team painted up or you want to try a different team, we're going to have some mixed teams available. All you have to do is just drop us an email and say, hey, can I borrow your Khemri Undead team that day? You don't even need to bring any models. All you have to do is bring yourself.
Yep, done.
But get in contact with us if you're interested in coming. If you want to know any more information, drop us an email, talk to us on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So that's tournaments, that's toys, that's news. Okay, so over to hobby, games, bits and bobs. Rich, what have you been playing?
Blood Bowl.
Good.
Lots of Blood Bowl. We're back on the league now.
Yeah.
And I'm getting games in. So I got a game in with my Forest Goblins, my stunties against Ian's for the first Looney League match.
Yeah, so we're running 3 leagues at the local club. Same teams, so the teams can play across leagues with some restrictions. There's a minor league for basically brand new standard teams, 1 million buys. There's a major league for our redrafted teams, so no cap limit on that once you've done the initial redraft and the final redraft. Thank you very much. And we've got the Looney League, which is mixed teams, stunty league teams, secret teams, and any other team you want, basically.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah, so that's really good. So I'm glad you've got the first game in. How did you get on?
1-2-0.
Oh, that's awesome.
1-2-0. I would say it's less my luck and more Ian's bad luck.
Yeah, so friend of the podcast, multiple award-winning painter Ian, multiple award-winning painter Ian actually. He was at the South Coast GT for AOS within the last couple of weeks playing Age of Sigmar, and he was on Twitch. He was on the Warhammer Twitch, which was cool. He was game 4, so the Sunday morning we got a message in the group chat saying, guys, check out Twitch. And it was him, so you could see his little head bouncing around. And he had the worst luck I think I've ever witnessed on television. He failed almost all of his rolls, and the other guy, Terry, literally didn't whiff a single die roll the entire game. Ian got absolutely hammered. He got pitch cleared, and he didn't kill a single model.
Jeez.
It was a perfect game for the other chap. I've just seen that luck from him was absolutely awful. Then he played you, and we had streamed our game on YouTube.
We did.
You and I did, and then I thought, right, let's see if we record it, see what the quality is like, see how the quality is different. The quality is much better recording, so one to bear in mind. But again, Ian, on camera, awful luck.
Yeah, it was awful. Everything was 1, everything was a skull.
And that reminded me that we actually played a game, I think that was streamed as well from the beginning of the last season when I played his goblins with my Skaven. And Ian actually swore because he was so angry. He'd failed everything. So basically, Ian just can't play on camera.
It goes camera shy.
Yeah, he spent so long painting these models, and the camera just can't handle it. Yeah. So you destroyed his team for all by accounts. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. Several casualties, 2-0 win. It was just I injured his troll on a 1-die block with my Spider Rider on turn 1. He regened, but it was just it started there and it didn't go well for him.
Well, I think he got a blitz and blew up some of his own guys with the bomber.
He did. Oh no. He got the blitz. So no, the very first turn.
Yeah.
He blitzed on the kickoff.
Yeah.
He decided to throw the bomb. I caught it, threw it back, and I ended up taking out 3 or 4 of his guys.
Oh, that is absolutely brutal. It's a great way to start a match, but if your luck carries on like that, it's quite punishing.
Yeah, it was such a good laugh.
So this is your stunty league team, isn't it?
My stunty league team, yeah.
Ah, brilliant. How did the stickers do? Because they've got stab, haven't they?
They do.
And against another stunty team, you're breaking armour on 8+, and then going straight for the 9+ casualties. Yeah. Did they do well?
Yes, I got 3 casualties using the stickers.
That is very awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Really great.
So because it was 1 million, you probably weren't running Chomper and Stomper.
No, unfortunately not. I ran it at 835k because I'm just thinking long term.
Yeah.
If I get a slightly developed team, there's Chomper and Stomper or something similar.
Don't forget to roll your have a lot of money test.
I still need to do that.
Yeah.
I still need to do that before the next game. But
how much is Chomper?
270.
Okay, so you're a while off any other teams in the Looney League.
Yeah.
Hitting that limit.
But yeah, but that went well. Went very well. I can't complain. It was good fun. I just felt awful by the end of the match because it just didn't matter what I did.
So that was game 1, wasn't it? That was night 1.
That was
new league.
Yes.
Game 1. I played Lewis on that night.
You did.
Lewis hasn't gone for any new teams this season, so he's running 2 in the major league. So I broke out my Skaven team.
Yeah.
And it was the rematch, sort of. He was running his Chaos team, and last time I played Lewis, he was playing with his Lizards, and it was in the final. And he beat me 2-1. And the dice were on my side for this game. So we deploy. Start off, I get a blitz. So I go for it. I punch a hole. I do a short kick using the kick skill, which is cool. Punch a hole, secure the ball. The ball lands. My gutter runner catches it. He tries to take it back, can't get through. Boom. Turn 1 defensive touchdown score.
Wow.
And then I just got really lucky with my positioning, and I did some very cheeky gutter runner stuff, and I ended up going into the second half 3-0 up, receiving. It was an absolute carnage fest. I ended up winning 4-0 in the end, but I did lose 180, 200k. Gutter, he died. Yeah. He died twice.
We were really sad, and I gave Lewis all the money I had in my pocket.
But my new gutter runner is now movement 10. So I've now got 2 movement 10 gutter runners and an Edge 5 gutter runner. And I had enough money to immediately replace the guy that died.
See, that's something at least. There's nothing worse than not having the money to be able to replace something. Yeah. Particularly a key piece like a gutter runner.
Yeah, so it wasn't the end of the world, and those guys have done so well to live as long as they have. So I'm really happy with that. So yeah, really happy with that. And actually, as far as playing with the Skaven go, I have only lost 1 game in the last 10 with them, and that was to Lewis in the final. So I'm doing quite well.
Crazy.
Their little win percentage is getting really good. Yeah. Played any other games?
I did. I played last night. I played against Ben. Not you, other Ben. And I played my Orcs. So I have already had 1 game with the Orcs because I played against Rick when he was over here in his on his vacation time away from France. So we got that in quick, and it was against his High Elves.
Yeah.
Ended up being a 1-1 draw, but a very tense game where the first half was just bad dice rolls for us both. He was having to reroll dodges all the time.
Ben does have some atrocious luck with his High Elves. We've seen a video of him playing BB2.
Oh, that was insane.
I think you mentioned it on last episode, but yeah, where it bounced around and like 5 or 6 elves failed to catch his bouncing ball. So it was 1-1 in the end?
1-1 in the end.
Did you get any decent level ups, either of you, though?
I did.
Ooh, what happened? Did you get doubled?
Yeah, Blitzer doubled. I've got a blodging Blitzer.
Blodging Orc Blitzer. That is
blodging
good.
Orc Blitzer. He got a normal level up on one of his, and gave it dodge.
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
I think it's a sensible thing
that's
to
a
do.
good one to give.
He had a couple of injuries, nothing bad. 1 missing next game.
Yeah,
and
I put that on his team sheet. He's got a journeyman ready for the next one.
But all in all, yeah, it was alright. Although my dice rolls were so successful in the second half, I didn't use a single reroll.
That's impressive.
For the whole half.
But if you run well with Orcs, if you're running the slow, if you're playing sharp, that will happen. The same with Dwarves. If you choose wisely, go with the good rolls, you can save that, which is why a lot of people at tournaments take less rerolls because they pick and choose their die rolls.
Yeah, you're accepting the pushes and things.
I just gung ho everything and have my rerolls to save me. I haven't managed to get another game in. I've just played that one, but I have been doing an absolute ton of hobby. So I fly out the day after tomorrow for my holiday, which is brilliant. So I've built the Dark Elf team, and it's mostly base painted. So the idea is I'm going to be playing a game of Blood Bowl 7s out there with Tiff Sharp, the Blood Bowl basics work, which is going to be really, really cool. So we're going to be there on the patio or the balcony in Tenerife playing some Blood Bowl 7s.
Nice.
Which is very cool. So yeah, the Dark Elf team's built and it's painted enough at the moment. So I did a painting session with Ian and Good Guy Lewis last night.
Oh, nice.
And then, I built my tree man. built one of my massive golems,
Yeah.
the iron golems, which I'll be using as treeman in my dwarf halfling
Yeah.
split team, ready for Bonehead Bowl. And I have received the rest of my undead teams. So for my undead dead punchy team,
Yeah.
I need 3 boxes of the undead team, and I've now gone all in. I got 2 from Entoyment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, wanted to see how quick they posted. They did a really good job.
Good.
Really happy with that. So they are, I think they're slightly more expensive than Goblin Gaming or Alchemist Workshop or Element Games, but for the sake of, I think it was literally £2. It was £2 more for them than the other one, actually supporting a local-ish shop that we're very fond of.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, they were quick delivery. Really, really pleased with them.
Good. I mean, whenever I've been in there, they've been great to be able to deal with personally. So it's nice to know they do the same on the interwebs as well.
Yeah, very happy with that. But yeah, now it is just packing, getting ready for holiday, and then when I get back, I'll edit this episode, and then we can go straight into more Bonehead Bowl stuff.
Awesome.
Which will be really, really, really cool.
Yeah. I have been starting to paint my Norse Chaos team.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I found a Reaper Miniatures Yeti that I'm using as
the tiny guy.
The tiny guy, who's not as tiny as I thought he was. Although if you put him at the wrong angle, he does look like he's dabbing.
Yeah, we did see that on
which
the
was
group
pointed
chat.
out. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Ruined it forever.
Supportive. That's what friends are
forever. But he's mostly done. And I've started on one of the Zangor Beastmen that I'm using.
Yeah, they look cool.
So I'm trying to go with a black skin tone for the first time. Because they're going to be called the Bastion Stair Ravens.
Oh, you and your ravens.
Yeah, me and my ravens. I've got the rooks, I might as well have the ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
So I figured that I'd paint the birdmen as raven-like as possible. As raven-like as possible. So I've gone with that. It's been fun to actually paint something a little bit different. Like the Yeti was done in about an hour and a half. I literally just primed it and dry brushed it. That was it, and then painted in the claws and the eyes. There's nothing to it at all really. But I've picked up some Valhalla Blizzard to use for the first time, so interested to see how that works and give them a snowy vibe. But that's about it for me.
I think that's plenty. A couple of other things that we've seen going on is Lewis was actually painting his Chaos team last night, and obviously Ben tonight is throwing us some pictures of his high elves that he's on the brew.
They're looking good,
which is fantastic. Right, let's go on to our first topic. Okay, so the first topic of the night is talking about some Bonehead Bowl team examples. So the first thing we're going to do is give a quick rundown of the build rules for Bonehead Bowl, which is an optional mixed team list. And then we're going to go through some examples that Rich and I have built, and one from local player Ben, who's just absolutely gone to town, which I think is quite cool.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the build rules for Bonehead Bowl are: you can take a regular team.
Yep.
For 1100, and within that you get skills based on your tier.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take a mixed team. Now the restrictions with mixed teams are, you choose 2 teams. You have to have at least 4 players from each roster.
Yes.
And you use the price for reroll of the most expensive one of the 2. And you have to have 1 fan factor for each reroll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a balancing point, but also it shows that actually those teams that are different will get more following from fans. So actually it takes them more effort to train to be a unit, but because of it, there's more interest from fans.
Yep.
So you end up with these different teams that take more money to be a proper cohesive team, and they end up with a lot more followers. So it kind of balances out. And the tiering list is basically, if you take a tier 1 team and a tier 3 team, you get the skills for tier 1 and the skills for tier 3. They can be spread out amongst the teams as much as you like.
Hopefully even the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to take a Wood Elf tier 1 and chuck it in with a Halfling team, for example, which Rick did when we were playing.
He did.
When we were playtesting these rules 6 months ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
You would have tier 1, which would be 2 normal skills, and tier 3, which would be 2 normal or double skills. And therefore those would be the skills you could spread around any of the players on your team.
Yep.
It is 1 skill per player, but I think that's the only restriction.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can, despite you having your tier 3 doubles, you don't have to use them on that tier 3 team. You can use it on your tier 1 or tier 2 team.
And if you have double tier 1, that means you get 2 normals and 2 normals. If you go for a mix of 1 and 2, you get 2 normals, 1 normal and 1 optional double or normal.
Yes.
So it's seems a little bit convoluted, but it's really not that tricky when you break it down.
When you look at it, no, it doesn't look so bad when you look at it that way.
No, and which is good because we've been building some teams.
We have.
Okay, so I'm going to go first because I got so excited and I started building multiple teams. And the whole point is that actually we're going to have some spare teams available. So if anyone wants to come along and wants to run a different team than normal, we've got a couple of spares. So my first team of choice is one I've labelled Dead Punchy. This is my Khemri Undead mix.
Yep.
So we've got an 1100 build, and those are the two teams I've plugged in because actually I thought there's an opportunity here.
There is.
So the new Undead kit is lush.
It is good.
It's a really good kit, and I've got some of the Tzeentch Space Marine heads.
The Thousand Suns.
Yeah, the rubric marines.
Yes.
So they're big. They've got like Egyptian style crests.
Yeah.
And so I've got a bunch of those. I've done one test model so far.
It looked good.
It looks cool.
It fits really nicely.
I pinned the model so that it was standing more upright.
Makes sense.
As well, so it doesn't look quite so crazy. So my mummies are going to be in the standard foot flat on the ground running forward poses, and all my Tomb Guardians are going to be standing tall with the big crests.
I like it.
Should be quite cool. I've already started building it. I've got the other two teams now, so it's ready to go. So the list is going to be 2 mummies,
Yep.
4 Tomb Guardians.
That's nasty.
So that is a front line of 6 strength 5 guys with no nega traits.
That's insane. But no movement.
No, there's going to be no movement. And I mean, you've been running Khemri in the pool league, haven't you?
Yeah.
With the Tomb Guardians, because
Mm-hmm.
they're only 100k, which I think is absolutely bargain.
It's great.
How bad is decay?
Not that bad. They've
No.
got to break through the armor. You've got to have those 2 10+ rolls
Yeah.
to get through to it. And even then, you're looking at a couple of big old ones to take them out permanently. I was unlucky in the first game. But you've also got regen as well.
And you've got 4 of them.
You have got 4 of them. Their biggest issue is the fact that they don't actually have any skills.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to do a 2-up block, it's more likely that you're going to get knocked down purely because they've got nothing.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, but they're still movement 4 though, which I think is quite impressive.
Yeah, I thought they'd always be like a movement
I thought they were
3.
movement 3 as well, so I was expecting to have this massive front line. But yeah, so running 6 strength 5 big guys, and there's still enough money for a few more players, which is really cool. So we've got 4 skeletons or zombies, I think probably 2 of each.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it really matters. So I've got 4 Tomb Guardians from the Khemri team.
Yep.
So that ticks that restriction off.
Mm-hmm.
And there's money left over for 2 rerolls and 2 fan factor and 2 ghouls.
That's nice.
Yeah, so you've still got somebody that can handle the ball
Yeah.
with decent movement. I can't imagine. I don't know how well they'll play this team. I'd love to get a test game in. So I know you and I are talking about doing a playthrough of Bonehead Bowl
We
teams
are.
for YouTube quite soon, and this will be the team I'll use because it looks awesome fun.
It's going to be you need to take people off the pitch. I think because the moment that somebody gets an opportunity to take out your ghouls, that's when you're going to have a problem.
The ghouls are it. So because there's a tier 1 and a tier 2,
Mm-hmm.
I get 3 normal skills and 1 double or normal.
Yep.
So the double or normal is going to go on a Tomb Guardian
Nice.
for leader
Okay.
to get me that extra reroll. Don't want to put it on a ghoul because they're quite, armor 7, no
They're likely
regen.
to be taken out soon.
Yeah, not quite so. Another single will go on 1 ghoul to be sure hands, to be the ball carrier. So we're looking at 3 rerolls now on the team and sure hands. So should be able to pick up the ball.
Yeah.
Kind of all you really need to do. And both the mummies getting blocked. They're
Nice,
doubles.
yeah.
Can't do that. Need to rethink that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
German access. What have they got? Is it just strength, the mummies?
Yeah. And I think we'll go 2 Mighty Blow on the Tomb Guardian.
What about
Or Guard.
guard? I would suggest guard. At least one of them get
Yeah.
guard because they're not going very far.
Probably not the mummy,
Not mummy.
because the mummies already have Mighty Blow.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, Jugs is okay, but it only works if you're blitzing. These guys aren't going anywhere, so I think probably
true.
just Mighty Blow, 2 Mighty Blows on the Tomb Guardians, or 2 guards on the Tomb Guardians, 2 guard on the Tomb Guardians,
That's brutal.
and then we can put them in the lineup with the mummies. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of punch.
Big old.
a
Yeah,
lot
there's
of
a lot.
punch for
Of,
that.
yeah, there's some proper thinking to be done on them.
The team is in fact dead punchy.
Dead punches.
Okay, so what have you been brewing?
So I mentioned them earlier, and it's the team I'm actually going to run against you.
That's
when
cool.
we did,
That's really cool.
Which is the Norse Chaos, which are both. No, it's a tier 1 and a tier 2. Norse is tier 1.
Yeah, Chaos
Chaos
is
is tier
Chaos
2.
is tier 2.
So that leaves you with 4 normal skills,
Well, three normals
skills.
and 1 optional.
1 optional double. So I'm not going for the optional double. I'm going for 4 normal skills. So first off, the team I'm taking from Norse, I'm taking 2 Elf Werners,
Yep.
the Yeti, because I like a big man, and 2 linemen. So your standard sort of Norse linemen.
Yeah, it's still block though.
Still block.
Yeah.
3 Beastmen, 3 Chaos Warriors.
Okay.
So you've still got a nice hard hitting line. Now, I'm only taking 2 rerolls. So that's 2 rerolls, 2 fan factor, a coach, and a cheerleader.
So you had a couple of cash left over.
A couple of cash left over.
Yeah.
If you've got it, you might as well use it because it'll be at that point that you will need that extra guy.
Well, winning the cheering fans or brilliant coaching will get, could net you that reroll.
Exactly that. So it's quite heavy hitting, but that makes it 1100 on the schnoz. What I'm looking at doing is taking a Juggernaut on both of the Elf Earners. I know they don't have block, but I'm hoping that with their strength 4 and the frenzy, I might be able to crowd surf a couple.
Yeah, I mean you're going to be so Juggernaut only works on blitzers.
Yes.
So one of them
maybe just one of them.
I was going to say you might find that the other one becomes a dead skill. It might be that you could use tackle and use them as your safety.
That might make a bit more sense.
Because strength 4 frenzy tackle is likely to take out anybody who breaks through your line.
Yeah.
So you've got a gutter runner making a break for it or something like that. Or my next team, so a halfling catcher gets into near the end. What's the Alpha Runner's move? It's got to be 6 or 7.
6.
Yeah, 6. So 6, go for it. You've got the entire backfield covered.
Yeah,
with a strength 4 blitzing.
Yeah.
So that's why I think maybe tackle.
Tackle might make a bit more sense. Now, thinking defensively, sort of, 2 of my Chaos Warriors I want to stick tentacles on. Now, my thought is, you stick the Yeti in the middle.
Yeah.
2 Chaos Warriors with tentacles. The strength 4 isn't huge. However, my game against Ian with tentacles and shadowing has really sort of made me a bit more interested about how tentacles actually works and how debilitating it can be.
So you're going to pop them on the line?
Pop them on the line.
And just
put them on the line because then it's covering them up. You've got 3 big old guys on the line. Put one of the Chaos Warriors slightly back. Or do I put the Yeti slightly back? I definitely have 2 of the Chaos Warriors there.
Yeah.
So ideally you're looking at 2 with the tentacles on the line. I always play with a safety, as you know. So let's go with the tackle of Werner at the back. Another one slightly middle. Can frenzy out either way.
Yeah.
Lineman on the edges. A couple of beastmen on the inside, and a spare one in the bar.
That's a really interesting build. So you've got the Yeti.
Yep.
So you've got strength 5. You've got 3 strength 4 warriors and 2 strength 4 warriors. That's very heavy hitting. My only thing is that I think it's a massively blitz intensive list.
It is.
But I don't think that will be a problem. I think that would just mean that because none of those guys are vulnerable to counterattack. Actually, what's the Elf Warrior's armor? Is it 7? Okay, so they're kind of vulnerable, but all your warriors are great. Beastmen are great. Like they're tough as.
On the blitz they become a strength 4 as well.
So you've got them as optional. So yeah, if I need to blitz with these guys, they're still going to be strength 4 blitzing, which is awesome. But otherwise, they're strength 3 armor 8. If I chuck them in base contact with somebody just to gum up a hole, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So you're not vulnerable to it, which is really cool. So I'm really interested to see how the list plays.
So yeah, it does intrigue me. I've got really sort of a bit buzzy about it.
So maybe more mighty blow will be needed then.
My only other option was removing one of the linemen and making it a thrower. So for the shorthands.
3 rerolls or 2 rerolls?
2.
Okay. 2
rerolls, 2 fan factor. Yeah. Now if I got rid of the coach and the cheerleader, and dropped a lineman, it gives me 70k to work with.
No, ignore. What about, because you do have a doubles to play with. So you could stick leader on someone if you wanted that 3rd reroll.
I don't know whether I would use it that much. I really don't, because I think it's going to be one of those ones where I'm trying to clog up the line.
Yeah.
As opposed to being on the attack all the time. On the attack, it's a case of this is where I am. You come through me.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be really good.
And so I'd be quite happy with a push. Keep pushing them back, because the further you've got to go back, the more difficult it is.
So the next team I want to talk about is Ben's. So he mentioned it on last episode, and he's been brewing it up some more. He's not quite finished, but what he's got so far I think is really cool. So this is his troll heavy list.
Yeah.
So it's orcs and goblins, which, points for theme straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
So from the goblin list, he's got 2 trolls. From the orc list, he's got 1 more troll. And then he's just gone absolutely straight in there with Ripper.
It's nasty, isn't it? 4 big guys
4
just sat
trolls.
there.
I mean, That is very cool. So he's got 4 trolls, including Ripper, 2 line orcs, 5 goblins, 2 rerolls. Now he's left with 60k, and there's a lot of options that he can take within that. He can afford a loony, he can afford a bomber.
Loony.
He can even upgrade one of his line orcs to a black orc.
Oh, I like that.
Now I'm not sure what he's doing for skills.
In fact, how much has he got left over?
He's got 60k.
Could he not upgrade both of his linos to black orcs?
No. Oh, are they 80k each?
80k each.
He really could. So it could be an absolutely massive strength there. But what he could do is he could take the Bombardier.
Yeah.
Because goblins are a tier 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Exactly. Go straight for Hail Mary with the bomber.
Yes.
Which I think would be really, really cool. So he's still left with a double, so he can give one of his trolls a block if he wanted to.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he'll be left with 20k left over to do whatever he wants. Maybe a couple of coaches or something. Now he has only got the 2 rerolls, so I do recommend that he puts leader maybe on one of the line orcs.
Yeah.
Get him that 3rd reroll. He's got 2 regular skills. He could even give both those orcs block. And put the leader on, I don't know, on another of the trolls or something. Because let's face it, with armor 9 and thick skull and regeneration, trolls aren't really going anywhere.
No. It's going to be difficult to take them out.
Yeah, so he's got a ton of options there. Now he's not even running the fanatic, but if he dropped one of the linemen into a goblin, he could actually just add a fanatic in there as well.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yeah, it would leave him down, but if he takes the bomber and gives him Hail Mary, again he'll be down to players, because I think he's only running 1, 2, 3 trolls, 4 with Ripper, 5, 6. So he's only got 11 players on the team. But if he picks up a bomber, that's 12.
Yeah.
So you're not down 1. And if he downgrades a orc lineman, well, you'd need to take the orc lineman. Oh no, because
if he's taking the goblin and
goblins, yeah,
you'll be okay.
So he's covered on that. I just think it's going to look. He's already started building it, I think.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's running the Gloom Spike Gits. He's got a box of those trolls.
Sweet.
To build the triple troll.
Oh, what the rock Troggoths?
Yeah, they're brilliant, and he's got his troll that he's going to use for Ripper, I think.
Nice.
From his goblin team.
I like it. It's a cracking little idea. It would look insane, and if it comes off, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
It'll also be great just to watch 3 trolls all go really stupid on one turn, and Ripper trying to work out where to go.
Ripper will be fine. But he's the cool thing about this list is it opens up. The options are open up because of the skill builds.
Yes.
I mean, having 2 doubles that he can put on anybody, it means he can immediately start with a bomb with Hail Mary Pass, which is a really cool build. There's if you wanted to take a loony or a fanatic, he'd give one of them. You could give one of them anything really.
Chainsaw and Mighty Blow.
Yeah, that doesn't actually work, but if he was blocked against.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
But
the wrong way around.
You can give him dodge or block to protect him.
Yeah, make him a bit more difficult to bring down.
The fanatic could take Mighty Blow.
Yeah, maybe that then.
Build your own Fungus the Loon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do there. I'm hoping to see some throw teammate action from that team as well, but it will probably just be a massive clash. So far we've seen some teams with a lot of heavy strength.
Yep.
Have you got a different team?
Not really.
Okay, cool, because neither have I.
Yeah, good.
Go for it. What have you got?
Orcs and Ogres. So, this is one of the original teams when we were playtesting this 6 months ago that I used against Rick's Wood Elves and Halflings. I'm not much of an agile type of player. I can't deal with them. I don't get the whole dodge and run away thing. I'm more of a...
You are bash, not dash.
I am bash, not dash. But in this, I could run 2 Black Orcs, 2 Blitzers and a Troll, and a Lineman from the Orcs, as well as 2 Ogres and 4 Snotlings from an Ogre team.
That is insane.
So it's a huge number of players with a decent amount of bash. This still comes with 3 rerolls, 3 fan factor, as well as a coach and a cheerleader.
3 rerolls?
3 rerolls. If I work that out right. 320, 530, 560. Yeah.
So that's... How much are rerolls for Ogres? Are they 60?
70.
70, so that's 240 on
240.
Brilliant.
So 240. It's as
Yeah.
much as it's going to get. It's insane. But that gives me 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13 players to allow for the Snotlings that are going to die.
So Orcs are tier 1, I believe, and Ogres are tier 3.
Yes.
So that gives you 4 skills.
Yeah,
So 2
two
normal,
normals.
2 doubles.
Yeah, so, and I've been really, really boring and given block to the Black Orcs and block to the Ogres.
Oh, that's brilliant though.
Just simple, no messing around.
And you've managed to afford the rerolls as well, which is brilliant. So
it's
it
crazy.
doesn't even leave you vulnerable.
No. I'm starting to wonder whether I've added that up right.
No, it looks pretty good. So how much are rerolls? So there's 70?
70.
Plus 10 for the
So
Fanarth.
80k each.
So, oh wow, that's very interesting.
I think it could be fairly brutal.
So what are you planning on doing with the ball? Just to hate to put the bowl in the Blood Bowl. So your blitzers are going to be your ball carriers?
They're my fastest players.
They are.
They've already got block. They've still got the armour 9.
Yeah.
And just try and protect them upfield. In an emergency, I'll lob a snotling.
Yeah.
And I'll lob them with the ogres.
Oh, it would be fantastic if you were troll 8 snotling.
You can imagine us spitting it back out, couldn't you?
I can't believe you're going for a troll. I know you hate trolls.
Do you know the reason why?
Why's that?
Because if I drop the coach and the cheerleader,
you can't quite afford an ogre.
I can't quite afford an ogre by 10k.
Not without dropping another snotling.
Not without dropping something else. And even if I don't use the troll, I can plonk the troll right in the middle. Black Orc either side of him.
Yeah.
Or similar. Maybe alignment. Black Orc slightly further out.
2 ogres.
Slightly back.
2 ogres is a good amount as well.
Mm.
So it's not massive. You're not going to be massively penalised by the nega trades.
No, hopefully not. So I've hopefully done it in a way that I'm not going to go, oh no, both of them are boneheaded. Now what am I going to do? Because I've still got enough going around it. But there's enough punch in there, plus enough movement to be able to do it. Snotlings with, Titchy. So they're going everywhere on a 2. Sidestep. I can put them in places that, even if it's just a block and alleyway.
Yeah.
For you guys not to be able to get through.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you know what? In a tournament, I'd love to throw a Snotling and see if I can get a touchdown. Maybe with the troll, just because I can.
Having done it with ogres, it's good fun. It's really good fun. So, on the topic of throwing teammates, the other team I've been brewing up and started painting is the Dwarf Halfling mix.
Oh wow.
So it is still more bash, but that's because the Dark Elf Skaven mix is still brewing in my head.
Oh.
But I've got a plan for that because I think that could be great too. Skaven, gutter runners with Dark Elves, could be great.
Thematic could work quite nicely.
Absolutely.
Actually,
and you're looking at a huge striking potential.
Mm.
But from a modelling opportunity, I wanted this dwarf halfling mix. The new halfling models are cool. The golems that I picked up from Reaper look kind of dwarfy. They function as treatment, so it's going to be this cool mixed team, which is obviously the whole point of Bonehead. It's going to look cohesive but mixed together. So the dwarf halfling brew I've got is 2 treemen at 240, and then 2 halfling catchers.
Yes.
For that sprint and catch.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. 2 dwarf blitzers, 2 dwarf runners, 2 dwarf blockers, 2 extra halflings, and 3 rerolls.
That's pretty darn good.
So that's 12 players with 3 rerolls. I'm not sure whether to drop the 3rd reroll, which at this rate is 80k, because you've got to take a fan factor as well, and get some more halflings in there. So it would take me up to 14 players and 2 rerolls, and then just chuck a leader skill on
double.
Well, I didn't even need to use the double because it can just be on the dwarf runner.
Oh, can it really?
Yeah, they've got passing.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so
it sounds like possibly a better option.
Let me just check that. Yeah, they do. So you could just use that on there. Now it's a stunty team, so you get doubles.
Yeah.
You get 2 doubles. Dwarves are obviously tier 1. So I think the doubles would go on the trees for block.
Yeah, less chance of them going down them.
Oh, it's just such a great skill. Or multiple block. Because I was thinking 2 multiple block trees and 2 guard dwarves.
I was wondering put my teeth in. I was wondering where the guard was going to come in.
Yeah, 2 dwarf blockers with guard on the line next to the treeman gives those treemen guaranteed strength 7.
If not 8.
Multiple blocking.
Or
that's basically 2 strength
5. If you get 2 both downs.
Oh yeah,
a double both down.
Your stuff.
Yeah.
But block is probably the better skill. Chucking guard guys in next door gives you a strength 7 block. So you pretty much guarantee to have a 3 die block. And a 3 die block with block gives you a massive, massive success rate. With block, 3 die with a reroll, because I don't know if treemen have. I don't know if the trees have loner.
I don't think they do.
There you go. So the treemen don't have loner. 3 die block. With block, you are looking at a 98.4% rate of taking a player out. Knocking him down anyway.
That's incredible.
And they do come with Mighty Blow. Yeah, and with Mighty Blow, you're likely to take somebody out as well. But the most important thing is that while you're doing all that hurting, you do have a bunch of halflings you can throw.
There is that. I love that option, even on a defensive strategy.
Got it, right. 1 dwarf blocker with guard, in the middle of 2 treemen with double block, as in with block on double for the 2 treemen, giving them the guard, giving them strength 7. So that's pop, 3 die block, 3 die block. That dwarf in the middle is just standing there cheering them on.
Yep.
And a runner takes leader, drop the 3rd reroll, pick up 2 halflings. You got 20k to chuck somewhere.
Coach and a cheerleader.
Yeah, coach and a cheerleader.
That could give you that extra reroll that you want.
Yeah, coach and a cheerleader. Or maybe drop one of the runners and actually pick up yet another halfling. I don't know. The list building opportunities are huge.
Yeah. It's quite particularly with the new halfling setup.
I know, it's so cool. I'm not going to take a hefty. I don't think that's needed when you're
particularly
running
dwarfs. No.
Yeah.
No, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we've got this new player. He's armor 7. And it's like, oh, okay, cool story, bro. Everyone's armor 9, and the trees are armor 10. So yeah, it's quite an interesting build. So those are just some example lists that we've been brewing up, ready for Bonehead Bowl. And genuinely, they're not even...
It's not the tip of the iceberg even, is it?
No, that's just the beginning. That's just the stuff that we're doing because of the modelling opportunities, to be honest.
Well, we've already started both of the teams that we've spoken about.
I didn't even know why I'm building the Dead Punchy one. I thought, have a Khemri team, have an Undead team. That's great. 2 teams in one. Build them so they're cohesive, plus just awesome to run a lineup of 5 out of 6 strength 5 guys. The Dwarf, I wanted to get those golems on the go. Plus throwing halflings around is great fun. Ben's going for his 4.5 troll list. And he's still not finished. There's still opportunity there to chuck in a secret weapon or to upgrade them to Black Orcs and make it even beaster.
Even if it's small.
Might be better for him to upgrade them to maybe to a blitzer or a thrower for the sure hands.
That did no good for me last night.
Yeah.
Sure hands did absolutely no good for me at all.
Edge 3 sure hands is the worst thing.
Yeah. It gives you hope.
I don't even know why. The only reason I take a thrower and Skaven now is to get that 20k reroll with a level up.
The leader.
Yeah, I just use the gutter runner to pick up the ball now.
That's alright.
I used to have a kick, return, diving catch gutter runner. They could basically cover the entire backfield.
Did he die?
No, I couldn't afford him because of the stupid blimmin' rules. Which are now gone. Thank you, redrafting. So, yes, Bonehead Bowl, 29th of June. Information is available on our Facebook and will soon be available on our website. So, drop us a line and come along. So the second topic we're going to talk about today is to block or not to block.
You need that with an echo.
That's the next thing we need to get. So we're trying a new mic to see if it gives a better quality, but the next thing is a soundboard. So to block or not to block, Bonehead basics on blocking. Now, I've built a little spreadsheet that's full of different situations, the different skills, the strengths to determine which is better, which are the options, what your percentage chance is, what your chances with a reroll, what your chances with pro or loner, just to give you a proper breakdown. But I'm not going to go fully into the numbers because that would be a very boring podcast.
And it would take up the entire time, I think. There's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I was not very productive at work that day. I just want to break it down and talk about some few basic heuristics to give you a guide, to give me a guide on what is better in certain situations and just how likely some things are to work. Now, everybody has seen dwarf blockers do the 1-die block. That shouldn't surprise anybody that is just very successful all the time. But there are some circumstances where a 2-die up block is actually pretty beneficial.
Okay.
So we'll go through that as well. So the first heuristic is around strength 3 block, strength 4 no block, which is better. You've got the Chaos team, you've got the Orc team, you've got the Black Orcs, they're all strength 4, no skills on them at all. And you've got the strength 3 guys on the same team with block. So you've got on an Orc team, you've got Orc Blitzers who are strength 3 block, and you've got the Black Orcs who are strength 4.
Yes.
You never really know which is better. They will feel different. Now, in your mind, I know you've had a quick look at the figures already, but in your mind, which is better, strength 4, no block, or strength 3 with block?
Strength 4.
So, you are right, but it is very marginal.
Okay.
So, just from running the numbers, if you are looking to knock down an opponent, only knocking down the opponent, not both down.
Okay.
And you've got no skills at all, you're strength 4, so we'll say you're hitting a strength 3 opponent without block. There's a 2-die block, that's a 55% chance of knocking them down.
Okay.
On the 2 dice.
Let's not say that.
With a reroll, you're looking at 80%.
Right.
That is a high success rate for the 2-die block.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. On a 1-die block, with block against someone who doesn't have reroll, is 50%. And with a reroll, that makes it 75%. So you have more benefit, and you are actually more likely to take someone down without block using a strength 4 guy than you are with a strength 3 guy with block.
Yeah.
However, I think what throws that out is most of the time when you are making a block with a strength 3 guy with block, you generally chuck in that assist, which takes your strength straight to a 2-die with block. Yeah. And that starts off at a success rate of 75%.
Yeah.
So you are as likely to take him out with a support as you are by using a reroll, which means that when you do your reroll with block on a 2-die block is 94%.
Right.
So getting that support in or levelling up your strength 4 guy to block gives you that huge edge.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
But from running the numbers, it is actually very close. But that block level up just on your strength 4 guys is a huge amount of benefit. It is basically the same as having a free reroll.
It's crazy, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at it like that, it is crazy. Because you don't think about it, do you? You just know that more dice is more likely.
Yeah, you generally think, oh, that's going to be okay. It does change ever so slightly when you are looking to sack someone. So the other numbers around here were about sacking. So the idea being you need to take the ball carrier out. Whether you're using wrestle, whether you're just using both down, and taking the both down result if you don't have it, it does close it up a bit. So you're making a 2-die block with no skills, and you just want to take somebody down, straight off the bat, 75%. So if you're willing for your Black Orc to go down as well, and for you to suffer a turnover, you've got a great chance on a 2-die block.
It's not bad at all, really, is it?
Again, with a reroll, it's hitting that 94%. With block, you are exactly the same, basically. You've got the same benefits to sacking as you do to block.
Yeah, because, regardless.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly. So if you are going to sack someone, sacking him with strength 4 without block is actually better than strength 3 with block.
Huh.
I know.
Well, you've got the extra dice, which gives you the option to use it.
Yeah,
there
you've got
isn't
pure strength. So that's one of the first heuristics, just to bear in mind, is while there are some circumstances where block has the edge, strength does give you a massive benefit. If you're going to solo somebody just on their own, strength 4 is better than strength 3 with block.
Yeah.
It is actually more reliable. So don't hesitate. If you go, who do I do? Do I do it with my Blitzer, who's got block? Or with the Black Orc, who's strength 4? Go with the strength 4. If you've got a reroll, it makes it even better to get that sack. Okay, the second key heuristic is uphill blocking.
Oh, see, I don't like doing this.
I know you don't. I love it.
You're frustrating with it.
Yeah, it's quite And you know what? Because of that, that's why I was interested in running the numbers, because I was like, this feels great. Like this should be a disaster, but it gets pulled off, and wrestle is the absolute key to that. So doing these figures are awful, and this is probably where that gut feeling of, oh my god, 2-die up is absolute rubbish. So to knock down your opponent without knocking down yourself on a 2-die block is 11%.
Jesus.
It's not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
Not a lot at all. So with a reroll, it's 21% chance. That's 1 in 5. It's just a little better than rolling a 6+.
Wow.
Now, if you're going to try and take them both down, so assuming that they don't have block, 2-die up is a 25% chance of success.
That's not so bad.
That isn't so bad. With a reroll, you're looking at 44%.
Okay.
So if you're willing to take the turnover, now this comes into play when you're looking at your edge 2, your strength 2 high edge guys. So the gutter runner, the classic gutter runner, run in there, 2-die up block. With a reroll, you've got a 45% chance of it working out, or 44% chance of it working out.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good odds. Like, those are worth
better, doesn't it?
That's worth banking on. That's better than a 5+.
Oh yeah.
It's better than a 5+. So actually, 2 die up blocking with no skill isn't the worst thing in the world. 3 die up is. The best that gets is 23%. So I wouldn't recommend that, but I've done that, and you can pull it off.
You've done that twice to me in one game.
And I think I had wrestle though. Although I did roll just all pounds.
One of them, one of them was definitely £3.
It was triple pound. that was
On a blodging blitzer as well, but we won't go into that because I'm not salty about that still at all.
So I ran those numbers too. So to do a 3 die up block, knocking down just your opponent, and the target is a blodger, there is a 0.46% chance of that working out.
That's disgusting.
Boom.
Boom. I remember sitting there looking at that going, I don't even know what to do.
I don't think that guy had dodge. I don't think there was a dodge one.
I think it was.
I think there was block. I think that was
just a block.
That was just 3.7%.
Oh, just, yeah.
Now, if you really have to go after that blodger on a 3 die up block because you've just gone run into the straight of the cage, if you've got a reroll, it almost doubles to 0.9% success rate. It's less than 1 in 100 chance of it working.
Wow.
But do it for the glory.
That's it. You're here for a short amount of time.
Absolutely.
Blood Bowl players even less.
So 3 die up blocking without any skills is a disaster. 3 die up blocking for the sack with wrestle is excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, say excellent. That's better than you'd imagine. So 2 die up blocking with wrestle, taking them down is 25% chance, straight off the bat. You chuck your reroll in there, you're at 44%. Doing 3 die up is 12.5%, with a reroll it's 24%. So there's still about a 1 in 4 chance of it working.
That's not bad though at all, is it?
The odds are much better, and I think this is why I've always had a lot of success, is because I do tend to swing those 2 die blocks, 2 die uphill with your wrestle, and you just get lucky. Because actually, 1 in 4 times it is going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, you might have to burn a reroll, but 1 in 4 times your ridiculous sack is going to work. Now, if you're running a team like Skaven, you can normally sack the ball away from edge teams, but the strength teams, they cage up brilliantly, so they go for the grind. The grind is good because it means you've got those multiple chances to get the sack.
Yeah. So,
say you're defending, you're going to get at least 2 chances to go for the stupid sack in a cage.
Yeah.
Okay, that means that for a 1 in 4, if they've got 2 drives, one of those drives you're going to succeed in popping the ball out, which is where that success comes from, because you can rely on the numbers. There is actually a chance for you to do it, but the biggest takeaway from this is just the power of wrestle. So you can look at the bell curve and you can see that dodge is always going to be a really great defensive skill, as is block. But wrestle just completely supersedes block, and if you're going for the sack, so if you're going for the sack, the idea being to stop them scoring or to steal the ball, wrestle is absolutely huge.
It's your number one, isn't it, really, when you think
It
about
is huge. 1 die block with wrestle. Oh, that's to knock them down. 1 die block with wrestle and a reroll is a 75% chance.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so if you do get that gutter runner in there, he's got Dauntless, or just any player with strength 3 wrestle. So you can get a lineman who levels up on a human team. You get wrestle on him just because it's useful to have a wrestle guy, because everyone says it's useful to have a wrestle guy. If you manage to just hit the ball carrier on a 1 die block with an average Joe wrestle guy, you've got a 75% chance of just popping that ball out.
I like this. In my head, I said to you, like I say in general, I always play a safety now. It took me a season to work it out, but I always play a safety. But if you can get a safety with strip ball and wrestle,
it's huge.
And juggernaut.
Yeah. Yeah,
that could be insane.
I haven't run the numbers for strip ball.
You've run enough numbers there, to be honest.
This was just about, I started working on a frenzy brew as well.
That does not surprise me.
How successful is this going to be if I have frenzy? But this was really cool. So, is it Ramtut, who's strength 5 or 6 and has wrestle?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not unrealistic for you to get a 2 die or 3 die block on wrestle with him. These numbers are massive. So 2 die block with wrestle and a reroll. Okay, he's got loner. It's a massive success rate. So 2 die up with sacking someone with wrestle is 75%. It drops to 55% if they've got dodge, but 75% just walking in there on a 2 die block
I think he's got break tackle as well, hasn't he?
So you can get in there. It's 87.
That's it, strength 6. So he is walking into a cage on a 3.
Yeah, and just smacking home. And if you can get that 3-die block with wrestle before the reroll, it's 87%. That is the equivalent of 2+.
Nice.
So walk in there, and on a 2+, that ball goes out, which is massive. So I'm rethinking some big guy builds.
Yeah.
Imagine the Minotaur with wrestle instead. Now he's got claw, mighty blow, so he kills stuff. And yeah, having the guy on the ground is not great, but if you're going for the touchdowns and you've got a good recovery team, wrestle is the absolute king of skills.
You know what? Think about it. From a Chaos Renegade point of view, having the ogre with that sort of skill wouldn't be a bad thing at all.
He's armor 9.
He's armor 9, movement 5,
yeah,
strength 5,
break tackle, wrestle. You know, boom.
That's not so bad at all. You get that lucky skill up to make him a strength 6, and he's walking into cages.
That's it. If you're willing to take him down on the wrestle. Now, the reason I say wrestle is better is because it just completely blanks block.
Mm-hmm.
And there is so much block out there, either because it's a really straightforward and obvious first level up for all ball carriers because it protects them from strip ball.
Mm-hmm.
So in our local meta, I've hardly seen any strip ball.
No, sure hands protect strip ball.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Sure hands protect strip ball, but block just protects your ball carrier.
Yeah. You're not going down. It's not an easy, I'll take you down because I haven't got it either.
Yeah. Wrestle just completely blanks that. So strip ball wrestle is huge.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
That is everything but a skull. The ball comes out one way or another.
Huh.
Okay, so that's why I didn't bother running the numbers for that, is because it is literally the same as not having a turnover in those circumstances if they don't have sure hands. And I do have the turnover numbers at the bottom. If you're going to do a 3-die up block, you've got a high chance, a 70% chance of a turnover. If you're going for a 3-die up block. Well, no, it's a 70% chance of a turnover. So 7 times out of 10, you're going to skull, you're going to double skull, you're going to go down. If you've got wrestle, that 3-die up block is only turning you over on 42. So you nearly half it by taking wrestle to be your 3-die up sacker. Less than half the time, well, more than half the time, it's going to be fine. Like, whatever happens, you're going to be okay. You can still move the rest of your team.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. Sorry to bore you all with numbers, but just from a heuristics point of view, so things you should know. Strength 4 is better than Strength 3 with block.
Mm-hmm.
Strength 4 with block is better than everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Strength plus block.
Yeah.
2-die
block is fantastic. 3-die block is just overpowered. 3-die wrestle is king with a reroll.
Yeah.
It's like almost certain to happen, which is fantastic. But then again, how are you going to get that? And 2-die up blocking is a very successful thing to do with wrestle. This shouldn't surprise anybody, but the numbers themselves did actually surprise me.
it's seeing it in the flesh, so to speak. It's quite a revelation.
So, wrestle sacking someone with a 2-die up with a reroll is 44%. Nearly half the time it's going to work.
It's really good odds.
It is, and I think that's why I've had so much success, is because when you chuck in wrestle, you throw it out there. But the best thing you can ever do is a 3-die block with block against someone who doesn't have block, because that is a 98.5% success rate.
And the only time you'll get a triple skull.
Yeah, but you re-roll it. You re-roll it, but yeah, like you said, there is still there is still a small chance of having that. Actually, it is a tiny chance of getting triple skulls. 0.002146%.
I think I've done that once.
Yeah, I know.
They say that it's only that chance. In reality, I think it's like a 1 in 5.
Yeah. So if you guys want to have a copy of this, I know there's a couple of articles already out there about blocking numbers, but this was really about the sack for me. Is like how to take out that ball carrier.
Dislodge the ball.
And having a success rate of nearly 50% on an uphill block with wrestle is massively successful.
Yeah.
But a 1-die wrestle block will work 75% of the time.
That's scary.
You don't even need to take strip ball for that. That's just wrestle. Put it on a lineman. Hey, Cat. I know, right? Okay, that's it for that topic. Okay, so it is time for the star player of the episode. Now, given that we've just been talking about blocking, and I've been gushing about wrestle, and last week we talked about a high elf star player, and as we've got Ben entering the league, and he's running his high elves, and he's doing a great job painting them up and rolling lots of bad rolls with them.
Bad rolls.
I figured we've got a star player here that can show him what to do. And the star player for today's episode is Prince Moranion. He can play for elf or high elf. He's 230k, movement 7, strength 4, edge 4, armor 8. That's an absolutely massive elf so far.
Yeah, it is. That's a monster elf.
So that guy is pretty great. And we have got Loner, Block, Dauntless, Tackle, and Wrestle. So this guy is really interesting because he has both Block and Wrestle.
You've got the option there. If they don't have Block, they're going down. Or, if they do have Block, you can still bring them down if, obviously, they're a ball carrier or someone with a tell you what guard situation. Be good on those ones.
So this guy is a huge sacker, basically. So, like you said, he's strength 4. So you're rolling those strength 4 block rolls, which is a 75% success rate, as we know from doing our quick heuristics there. And that is to either smash somebody out who doesn't have block, or to wrestle someone, given that choice. Now, it is a bit of a redundant skill when you're working through a league, because obviously there's a limit to how many skills you can take and how much time it takes. So you very rarely end up with a block and wrestle guy. But this guy having both of those skills gives him that huge edge, and he has tackle as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very specific build, isn't it?
It's awesome. So you've got somebody who is a blodger. Now, most elf teams end up with blodgers, and apparently orc teams, if you're rich.
Yeah, my BB2 team even has 4 edge 4 players.
So your strength 3 orc blitzer with now who's got blodge.
Yes.
He gets shamed by Prince Moranion.
Completely.
Strength 4, edge 4. So he's going to dodge in there. Not all the time, but still he's dodging into one tackle zone on a 3+.
That's so good.
That's a gamble. It is a gamble. If he had dodge, this guy would be incredible. But when he hits home, he's making that 2 die block with block and tackle and wrestle. It just negates every skill.
It's fantastic defensive skill build up there, isn't it?
And from a league point of view, he's 230, so that is quite expensive. And these days we've gone back to Wizards. I don't think we've seen one run out of league yet, but it's only the first couple of weeks. So it is quite a big investment. But elves go down. They get taken out. So your team value can drop quite sharpish. And if you end up playing against a 1300 team with a reasonably new elf team, you could take Moranion, and he won't hog all the SPPs.
No, he's going to be that hole puncher.
Yeah, he is the bullhawk. He will be able, if you can get a clean line of movement to the ball carrier, this guy will take it out.
Yeah.
And even if they've rolled the 6, they've intercepted the ball with their Croxicle, because it happens all the time. This guy's got Dauntless, so on a 2+, he's 1 dying. The big guys, and 1 dying someone with wrestle and tackle and block is still really brilliant odds.
Yeah, it's incredible odds, really.
Anything but a skull, you're okay for 1, but on a basically a 4+, 50% of the time with that 1 die block, you will be able to sack whoever you hit using a combination of wrestle and tackle.
Yeah, he's an incredible support player, really is.
And when you're running in on elves and high elf teams, you should be able to scoop in there with a decent edge and pick up that ball from wherever and do a decent elf trick. So, although last week we spoke about Sauron Hightower being a really great asset to a starting elf team, if you really quids in, Moranion is a beast.
Yeah.
And it's not an unimaginable player to build as well.
No, I was thinking that you could use him as a foundation to what you want to do with one of your own.
Now, strength 4 is exceptional.
It is.
So you won't always get that.
No.
But having a block, tackle, dauntless, wrestle, strip ball mix, dodge mix in there, like any of those skills are great. So you could end up with some really, really well tooled out elf blitzers.
More than possible, isn't it?
Yeah, but the idea is that the Moranion will take the ball away from them, give them back to one of your guys get to the SPP. So yeah, I think Moranion's pretty good, and I hope that I get a chance to play against him. But I might even take him in a team build. I mean, idea time. Moranion in the Bonehead Bowl with an elf team.
Oh.
Yeah, he could be a really great ball hawk. For 230, he's pretty expensive. He's the price of any 2-3 other elf players. But that is a ton of skills.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could do something there.
Yeah.
You could do something really cool there. Really cool there. So that wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you all very much for joining us. I can never remember how to end the episode, so we'll just say thank you, have fun, take care, get in touch, come to Bonehead Bowl.
Definitely come to Bonehead Bowl, and don't forget, 2 heads aren't always better than 1.